Greetings. This is Doc Ock coming to you live and direct today from Black Facts Headquarters Central, right here in beautiful Kent, Ohio. That's right. And today we're going to have to go right on into it. Today happens to be, as I was informed this morning, July 4th celebrated. I never knew there was such a thing. I thought maybe they were going to do it on a Monday, but apparently today is being celebrated as July 4th. So if you're looking for your mail, stop looking. If you need to go to the bank, forget about it, because today apparently is a bank holiday. So don't look for your mail. Just wait till tomorrow and they'll deliver all your mail tomorrow. Meanwhile, let's get it on. We got a proverb here today. And this one actually is a quote from Leo Tolstoy, a Russian poet and writer, philosopher, etc. And the quote is this: I sit on a man's back, choking him and making him carry me, and yet assure others that I'm very sorry for him and wish to ease his lot by all possible means, except by getting off his back. That's the one thing I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. But whatever else I can do. You like a drink of water? Okay, so that was Leo Tolstoy. I sit on a man's back, choking him and making him carry me, and yet assure others that I'm very sorry for him and wish to ease his lot by all possible means, except by getting off his back. Thank you very much, Mr. Tolstoy. We're going to go on from there and read a piece by the last poet. This one is one of Jalal Nuruddin's poems, and it seemed appropriate for the time because we got a lot of folks running around talking about they woke, or people that are woke, or people need to wake up. And I just wanted to go back to something that was written back in 1970. The poem is "Wake Up, Niggas." Okay. Night descends as the sunlight ends and black comes to blend again. And with the death of the sun, night and blackness become one. Blackness being you, peeping through the red, the white, and the blue, dreaming of boss black civilizations that once flourished and grew. Hey, wake up, niggas, or you're all through. Drowning in a puddle of the white man's spit as you pause for some draws in a mist of shit. And you ain't got nothing to save your funky ass with, you cool fool. Sipping on a menthol cigarette round midnight, rapping about how the Big Apple is out of sight. You ain't never had a bite. Who are you fooling? Me? You? Wake up, niggas, or you're all through. And uptown, two roaches are drowning in each other's piss. And downtown, interracial lovers secretly kiss. White junkies are dreaming of total bliss. Somewhere in the atmosphere, far away from here, beyond realms of white dimensions, gathered by suppressed intentions, as their cries go unrecognized, except by their keeper, the grim reaper. Save me a corner, you shout, as the lights go out, because you ain't paid the electric bill. And the rats and roaches move in for the kill, as your lips struggle to drain that last drop from the wine bottle, and you roll snake-eyed, never realizing that you blew. Wake up, niggas, or you're all through. Sitting in the corners with your minds tied to your behinds, bona fide members of Niggas Anonymous, never knowing which way you're going, pimping off life, turning tricks for slick dicks and candy asses. All masses to be held tomorrow morning for the late, great black man. Amen. Do you niggas understand? Up against the wall, black Maryland farmers, or I'll blow you away. and you'll never live to see the light of day. And the nightstick, it glides gracefully upside your head. That's right, brothers and sisters. You nothing but the living dead. Zombie apocalypse up in here. But the cock crows and the night goes, and it saves your ass in nick of time as you wake up and start to find yourself laying up in bed, scratching your ass and head, trying to remember from where, when you recall this familiar nightmare, and that always leaves you feeling blue, but you still can't place the man's face. As hard as you try to, hey, wake up, niggas, or we're all through. That's a wake-up call, obviously. One out of many, because the last poets aren't the only ones that issue these wake-up calls over the years. This has been done time and time and time again. And it's really time to end this grin, all this grinning and ducking and dodging that we doing. It's time for it to all come to a glorious end. But how will it end? Well, the end has not been written yet. But let's see what Frederick Douglass had to say about it. Since this is July 4th celebrated, I decided to read just a short little piece here. A short little piece from what some people call What to the Slave is the 4th of July. Now, as it turns out, this particular riff has no real name because Frederick Douglass never gave it a name per se, as far as I know. But it was a speech that he gave. In 1852 in Rochester, New York, he delivered this speech. Now, by the way, he delivered it on July 5th, not the 4th. Okay? But it was about the 4th. So let's see what Frederick Douglass had to say about July 4th. Fellow citizens, pardon me and allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I or those I represent to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us? And am I therefore called upon to bring our humble offering to the national altar and to confess the benefits and express devout gratitude for the blessings resulting from your independence to us? Would to God, both for your sakes and ours, that an affirmative answer could be truthfully returned to these questions. Then would my task be light and my burden easy and delightful, for who is there so cold that a nation's sympathy could not warm him? Who so obdurate and dead to the claims of gratitude that would not thankfully acknowledge such priceless benefits? Who so stolid and selfish that would not give his voice to swell the hallelujahs of a nation's jubilee when the chains of servitude had been torn from his limbs? I am not that man. In a case like that, the dumb might eloquently speak, and the lame man leap as an hart. But such is not the state of the case. I say it with a sad sense of the disparity between us. I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn. To drag a man in fetters into the grand illuminated temple of liberty and call upon him to join you in joyous anthems were inhuman mockery and sacrilegious irony. Do you mean, citizens, to mock me by asking me to speak today? If so, there is a parallel to your conduct, and let me warn you that it is dangerous to copy the example of a nation whose crimes towering up to heaven were thrown down by the breath of the Almighty, burying that nation in irrecoverable ruin. I can today take up the plaintive lament of a peeled and woe-smitten people by the rivers of Babylon. There we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof, for there they that carried us away captivity required of us a song, and they who wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. Fellow citizens, above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions whose chains, heavy and grievous yesterday, are today rendered more intolerable by the jubilant shouts that reach them. If I do forget, if I do not faithfully remember those bleeding children of sorrow this day, may my right hand forget her cunning, and may my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. To forget them, to pass lightly over their wrongs, and to chime in with the popular theme would be treason most scandalous and shocking, and would make me a reproach before God and the world. My subject then, fellow citizens, is American slavery. I shall see this day and its popular characteristics from the slave's point of view, standing there identified with the American bondman, making his wrongs mine. I do not hesitate to declare with all my soul that the character and conduct of this nation never looked blacker to me on this 4th of July. Whether we turn to the declarations of the past or to the professions of the present, the conduct of the nation seems equally hideous and revolting. America is false to the past, false to the present, and solemnly binds herself to be false to the future. Standing with God and the crushed and bleeding slave on this occasion, I will, in the name of humanity, which is outraged in the name of liberty, which is fettered in the name of the Constitution and the Bible, which are disregarded and trampled upon, dare to call in question and to denounce with all the emphasis I can command everything that serves to perpetuate slavery, the great sin and shame of America. I will not equivocate. I will not excuse. I will use the severest language I can command, and yet not one word shall escape me that any man whose judgment is not prejudiced or who is not at heart a slaveholder shall not confess to be right and just. No justice, no peace, at least. And so you've heard just the intro to A Longer Peace by Frederick Douglass, given on the 4th of July, 1852. 1852. Let me say that one more time, because I'm not even trying to rhyme. 1852. Mr. Frederick Douglass was feeling real blue. And as you can see, he had some things to say, particularly about American slavery on the 4th of July. So, as you take your day off from your toils, as you lay down your yoke you've been carrying all year, as you sit around on your front porch and eat your barbecue and sip your mint juleps and joke around with your chillin' and your grand chillin', I'd like you to remember the words of Frederick Douglass, as well as the words of Jalal Nuruddin, one of the last poets. Why do they call themselves the last poets? Because they saw that as the time that poetry would end and actions would begin. It's time to get busy. This is Doc Ock at noon and 9. Peace out. We'll be back tomorrow, and we're coming back with the full rendition of Frederick Douglass's speech. So listen in here, 12 o'clock, high noon. Don't be a loon. See us tomorrow at high noon. Peace out.